Hey there, welcome to my third devlog following my development of an indie game. In this video I wanted to show my tree mechanic. My last video showed the sandbox player being able to plant the trees in an available space. Here I'm going to expand on that by actually showing the tree growing. Before I show this, I'd like to shout out the Tree Creator Toolkit. I'm using Tree Creator objects for this mechanic. This is quite an old tool and unfortunately Unity hasn't kept up support for it very well. I found this toolkit extremely helpful as it added support for shaders in both URP and HDRP. That's Universal Render Pipeline and High Definition Render Pipeline. And it's also up to date with Unity 6. Its realistic wind support also rivals the original. Either way, it's definitely worth the price if you're looking to use Tree Creator in the future. So again, like in my last video, I'll go into planting mode using the debug key and plant the tree. In my game design I plan to only have the tree grow after every day and night cycle, or when it is interacted with by plant food to make it grow. However, I've added another handy debug key to simulate growth. Since Tree Creator is a read-only tool, it's not like I can just add parts of the mesh for the growth stage. I have to create a mesh for each stage of growth for each tree. At the end of the growth animation is when I swap one stage of mesh for another, using a particle effect to hide this transition. I have a number of trees that have different growth stage lengths. This one, being the berry tree, has reached its max growth stage. If I try to grow it again, it will instead start producing fruit. The fruit itself has its own growth stages and will not directly be accessible to the player straight away. Say if for instance the survival player touched the fruit or a tree was damaged before the fruit was ripe enough, the fruit would be destroyed. I have also added a debug key to show this happening. The fruit will grow in size and change in colour over time. When the fruit is fully ripe, they will drop from the tree periodically. Both players will be able to pick these up in the future and then add them to their inventory. There are a couple of cool features I added here to make this mechanic a bit more interesting. I made use of dot product here to get the fruit to constantly rotate to face away from the tree. This is best seen on the mango tree here. I've also made use of a radius check to make sure a possible fruit spawns in a certain distance from the tree's centre. I'm currently spawning the fruit in a random position each time based on the vertices of the tree leaves specifically. You can see here that the tree leaves are a separate game object to the tree base. You can see the spawned fruit here has been denoted by these blue spheres, and each one of these are a certain distance away from the tree trunk or the tree centre, which is marked there. I do want to have the tree fruit spawning a certain distance away from this trunk to make them visible as possible. However, as you might have been able to see, there are some fruit which are spawning almost like in the air, further away from the branches than I would have liked. This is something I'm going to need to look into in the future, I think. I currently have 6 different growable trees at the moment, some of which look a little bit better than others. I'm looking at remodelling some of them to make them look a bit more realistic. With that, that's all I have on the tree growth mechanic at the moment. Thanks very much for watching.